Alright guys, so today we're going to tie up a very productive midge that I kind of worked on my own. I'm not sure what to call it exactly. Maybe I'll come up with a name or I'll find one online. If you guys know the name of a midge similar to this one, or maybe this is already a pattern, I'm not sure. Comment down below, let me know, because I'm really interested to know if there is a name for it out there. But I fish a lot of tailwaters. It is winter here in Colorado, so it's tailwater season. This midge has been very productive for me and has caught a lot of fish for me, especially when you see fish taking just below the surface or actually eating off of the surface, but you can't really see any dries. Let's get to it. So I got on a size 18 nymph hook, caddis curved shank hook, which I use all the time. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that on my channel now. Well, at least I hope you are by now. And I'm gonna take some 8/0 uni thread in black. I'm gonna start about a hook eye's distance away from the actual hook eye with my thread. And I'm doing that just to give me plenty of room to play when I come back to the front of the fly. And I'm gonna go ahead and work my way down. Ooh, hit the hook point right there. And I'm gonna work about 2/3 of the way down the hook bend. And so right now I'm gonna go ahead and take some flashback, a single strand of it. And you can do this, you could use wire in this instance, whatever color you prefer. I use silver wire and make just another variation of this fly, but this one I'll use no wire on is to help it float. And so this one actually usually floats, completely floats. The foam that we're gonna put out the head will sit right on the surface, and the midge body is gonna sit just below the surface, and it's a perfect imitation. So I'm gonna go ahead and tie on this flashback. Oh, if I can catch it. Like so. Go ahead and get it to flatten out. I'm gonna come forward. And I'm gonna go ahead and build a taper to the body, so I'm not worried about, covering every single wrap of that flashback with the thread, because I'm going to build a taper. And the best way to build a tapered body is to work 1/3 of the fly down at a time. So you, starting from the front, go 1/3 of the way down, and then go back to the front, and then go 2/3 of the way down, back to the front, and then go all the way down the fly. Like I am right now. I'm on that last run. And then I'll come back up to the front. And now I have a nice tapered, even body. I'm gonna go ahead and stop about 2 wraps before where I started. And always counter wrap your wire, or in this case, flashback. Just always good to practice counter wrapping your material. It'll help make the fly a little more sturdy, and just keep everything together. It'll lay down very nicely as well. And just like if you're using wire, I'm gonna focus on making the spacing between each wrap symmetrical. It's gonna make the fly look a little bit better. And up front, I'm gonna go ahead and tie it off and go 1 wrap ahead of it, just to make sure it's trapped there. It's not gonna go anywhere. And then go ahead and trim off your excess. Clean that up a little bit. All right, and so here we're actually gonna go ahead and tie in the foam now, because the head material we're gonna use is gonna cover up the thread wraps we make right here. So I have a single tube. This is the extra small size of foam, and I put a little slit on the very front of it, and that's gonna be what I force down over the hook. What that's gonna do is gonna help the foam sit down. It's gonna help it seat onto the hook, and it's gonna make it not so bulky as I wrap around this. So it's gonna help make that foam seat where it's supposed to, and seat very well, and it's not going to come off. And it's also going to give me a nice thick head right here at the front to then add some more material to. And in this case, you can do different variations. dubbing would be the easiest to go. But here, what I've been playing around with lately is actually taking a single strand of peacock herl, right here, just a small section of peacock herl, just a single strand. And I'm gonna go ahead and tie that in by the tip. And the reason I'm using the front side instead of the back is just because it's thinner. And this is a very small fly. As I said, it's size 18. Very tiny. Go ahead and break off that tag end. This stuff is very fragile compared to, wrapping hackle or something. So pull on it very softly. No need to rush or be too aggressive with this. And I'm going one wrap right in front of the other, making sure they lay down nicely. Like so. Once I get right up against that foam, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little twisteroo right here. Switch my thread around. Catch the end of that peacock herl. Oh, and I missed the hook eye. Catch the end of that peacock herl right there. Oh, and I missed it. I am not on top of it right now. Like so, and I'll come back on top of the foam. Just give me a little more space to work with. Boom. Like so, and you go ahead and, just like wire, you can just snap peacock herl right off. Twist it off. Now I'm going to pull the foam forward. Get my thread under there. Just making sure it's really stuck under there. And now we can go ahead and whip finish. I usually whip finish over the top of the foam, just to give my thread a nice base to tighten down onto without crowding the hook eye too much. Go ahead and tighten that down. Trim my thread. Go ahead and trim off this little tag end of the peacock herl as well. And then right here, all you do is cut off a little section about yay big, about the same size as the head, maybe a little bit bigger. And that right there is the finished fly. So like I said, that foam is going to float right on the surface of the water, and this midge body is actually going to sit right below the surface of the water, and it's going to imitate an emerging midge. Sorry. It's a really good representation. I've been playing around with different colors of flashback, different colors of wire, and using dubbing in different colors for the head material. And yeah, just been having a lot of luck on this lately on many of our tailwaters here in Colorado. So give this a shot. If you guys have a good time on the water with this fly, let me know. Comment down below. So thank you again, and let me know if there's a name for this fly, because I really don't know what to call it yet.